Day 5, Career and Business Advancement. Now, you might find this very interesting because you're like, my career has not really been fulfilling, my business has reached a plateau, and I don't know what to do. I believe that everybody will get to that place at some point or the other. And it's one of two things that will happen. Either they fall all the way down and they fizzle out of the scene, or that becomes the defining moment where they reinvent, restructure, regroup, re-strategize, and everything goes boom up to the next level. And one of the pictures I have for that is, when climbing a set of stairs or a flight of stairs, there is always the landing before the next step, and the landing before the next step, and the landing before the next step. And what you ought to do, what I believe God desires for you, is that you never rest and you never settle, but you keep advancing, you keep progressing. So how does that happen? Typically, I will start by giving you the foundation before I give you the building blocks. So what is the foundation for career and business advancement? And that will be indisputable excellence. Excellence that is indisputable. If you're the most excellent person in your organization, not only will you get noticed, you're going to be promoted. It's a promotion is not what you get after you've fasted for 300 days and you've tried to bribe God with one commitment or the other. Promotion is what you get when you become overqualified for your current level. In fact, you're promoted before you're promoted. You outdo your job description before you outgrow your pay package. That's how it works. And so when we look at the story of a certain man called Daniel, the God secretly planted as an ambassador in a heathen nation, he was carted away, carried away into slavery, but God began to raise him up and elevate him in a hostile environment. And at some point in his life, he became the most significant person in that space. So here is how the story goes in Daniel chapter 6 and from verse 1. It pleased Darius, the king at the time, to set over the kingdom 120 satraps to be over the whole kingdom. And these 3 governors, of whom Daniel was one, that the satraps or the prefects might give account to them, so that the king would suffer no loss, so that nobody would steal his money. So he could trust these guys. Then this Daniel, who had already reached a level where he was one of the 3 governors, remember, he had reached a landing, but he didn't stop there. The word here says that this Daniel distinguished himself above the governors and satraps because an excellent spirit was in him. And the king gave thought to setting him over the whole realm. So the governors and satraps sought to find some charge against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no charge of fault because he was faithful. Nor was there any error or fault found in him. So Daniel was distinguished because an excellent spirit was found in him. Whenever he worked, there was something different about how he worked. Whenever he spoke or operated or functioned, there was an air, not of arrogance, but of distinction that set him apart. It's a distinction is often misconstrued as arrogance or ambition or drive. But it's not that, it's just excellence. And when you begin to set yourself apart, guess what happens? Not everybody's going to be comfortable with it, but it's all right because you know you have to give account to only one, and that is the God who blessed you, who gifted you, who endowed you the way you are and made it the way you are. So what are the building blocks? The foundation is indisputable excellence. Number 1 building block, diligence. Diligence. A lot of people hide under prayers and on the prophetic blessings. And I'm not despising or downplaying the importance of prayers and prophetic blessings. I think that they're fantastic, and I believe that they're blessings that God gives us. But what's the purpose of having rain if there is no seed in the ground? You see, here's the principle. There has to be seed in the ground for the rain from heaven to produce. So there's got to be diligence in your work, in your business, before you can maximize and leverage the favor that God places on top of your business. You have to put some seed in the ground for the rain to make sense. If you remember the story of Noah, the account says that God broke the fountains of the deep, and then the windows of heaven were open. And many times a lot of people are expecting the windows of heaven, but they haven't allowed there to be a breaking of the fountains of their deep. So you've got to be diligent. Here's what the writer says. It says that, seest thou a man who's diligent in his business? That man, that woman, that boy, that girl, that student, that lecturer, he will stand before kings and not ordinary people. That person is going to be separated from his peers. That person is going to be marked out. That person is going to be placed on a different platform. That person is going to be distinguished. So number one building block, diligence. Yep, work harder than everybody else you know. Invest more than everybody else you know. Show up earlier than everybody else you know. Put in more than everybody else you know. If you can do this, you'll see a marked difference. Number two, I'm going to talk about this, and that is consistency. One of the things about Daniel, when you read the exciting story that captures his life and times, is that they knew when he was going to pray. They knew how he was going to pray. There was consistency in his life. We also find this in the life of Joseph. Joseph was sold into slavery, but in a hostile environment and a harsh economy, he was able to salvage not only his life and the lives of his family members, but also an entire nation and possibly a generation. But here's the deal. They could always count on him to interpret dreams. He was consistent. Can we count on you for anything at all, or for the things that you do best? Can we count on you? Can we go like, yeah, he's going to be there or she's going to be there? It is important. The first building block is diligence. The second building block is consistency. The third building block is creativity. Are you doing something in a way that nobody else is doing it? If you're going to advance your business, you need to create sometimes new products, sometimes create new marketing for an old product, sometimes create a new niche or niche, depending on whether you're American or British, in a different environment. You have to become creative. And creativity is not about having all the money in the world. You see, creativity is not, I have $5 million to fix up a house and it looks gorgeous. Creativity is, I have $500, but I make it work. Creativity is, I have 2 pair of shoes, but I make it work. Or I have a jacket, but I make it work because I'm mixing up the ties and the pocket squares and the colors. Or I have a pair of jeans and I make it work. And that's creativity. As you integrate these building blocks, you will see that in the life of Daniel, how he was able to create solutions for the king and interpretations to the dreams of his heart. To the life of Joseph, how he was able to maximize 7 years of plenty through 7 years of lack. Creative inventions and solutions will come your way. And remember, diligence and excellence and consistency and creativity, and you will advance your business. I pray for you right now that the God of heaven, who has access to all the keys of the earth and all the keys to the hearts of customers, clients, and prospects and investors, that God will whisper in your heart divine inventions and solutions that will produce advanced results in all that you do in the name of Jesus. I pray that if you're stuck right now, even as you apply these things, you will find jet propulsion to the next level. And even if you're already flying high, that your greatest testimonies in the past will become stepping stones to new experiences in the future. I believe in you, and I believe that things are going to work out well. Receive that. Do you receive that? Do you receive that? Now, if you've loved this, share this with a business person or a professional and encourage them to be excellent. And remember that your spiritual growth will not necessarily cover your professional incompetence. Your spiritual fervency will not necessarily translate to professional efficiency. So what you need to do is to keep developing yourself. Remember that you are the answer to somebody's question. You're the solution to somebody's problem. So go out there today and every day for the rest of your life. Make a positive difference because the world is waiting for you.